Dr. Yvette Owens. Dom, welcome to the show. I appreciate it. Mad Max Radio Live 365, iHeartRadio. Left or Right series available on Amazon Prime TV. Welcome to the show, guys. It's an honor to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Of
And
course.
and woohoo! Officially.
Yeah.
When you make a TV show, you get to go woohoo. There it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how about we get right into it? How long has this really been in process between the two of you? How did you two initially meet to collaborate on this project?
Well, me and Bet are old friends, and we kind of linked back up in 2022 with a music project I was doing. And so we started talking about different things that we could bring to light culturally, films. We created a streaming service called Superflix. We did that in 2023, right? And so that's where filmmakers can go and they can upload their films and set their own price. And we just take a small little margin and you can get paid for the rest of eternity. Yeah. Superflix.com. Yeah. And so we did that in 2023 and that's moving well. And so Yvette was like, well, what else you got? I said, well, I got more. I mean, I have more. And we started talking about Left or Right. A story I had written back in 2020. I had written it after a motorcycle accident. I was in rehab, and I wrote this story of this young woman after being married 10 years, now dating. And now she's in the new world of dating, which is online dating, right? Hence the name Left or Right. And so me and Yvette, we saw the script. She loved it. That's it. She gave me the green light. That's how it works.
That's how it works. And I could tell it plays right into the current times. Do you feel as though you're going to have to make things a little bit more worse, ramp it up on the negative side of things now that we see how things are playing out in society, especially on social media? We're going to have to go even further into the negative space of, I know they call it the whole body counts and all this. We see it all over social media,
Body
unfortunately.
I like body counts.
minute,
Yeah.
sir. We just met, sir. What do you mean? Um, well, I'll let you back go. Go ahead, Yvette.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because as Domini did his research, he found that there were over 1 million divorced women online trying to find love. I was one of them, which was a twisted, turned, crazy experience. But I think that from the positive to the negative, it is on the gray scale of dating. And it is hard for some of us that were born in the 60s and 70s to not have the young man knock at the door and come see us. And now we got to get online and look at people who are either real or not and navigate through all of that, which is really the highlight of our TV series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we necessarily fall in the negative. What we fall in the category.
Hmm.
We fall in there. That category. Whatever that feels like. We fall in that category. Left or Right will have you bending over, laughing. There's some wit. There's a lot of things going on. There's probably some people
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
show.
of course, Lil Hump, the Humpty Hump, of course, Shock G. We got that in there. I saw that, so I'm
My
familiar.
man, Mr. Clark. Yes, sir. That's
Yeah.
my dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, we also have Clint Smith from Coming to America.
Hmm.
Famously says, "That boy good." That dude.
Yeah.
Then Left or Right. Our lead, Ricky Nelson, she's amazing.
She
You
is.
will love Ricky. Ricky is somewhat of an every woman. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. In the series, that is.
Yeah. So how did it go about? Because now we're into the casting such a diverse group of people from comedians and artists and because with AZ Yet, you have an artist from AZ Yet and featured into the show as well. So how did you go about really casting the net and getting a diverse, versatile set of people for the show?
Well, Yvette was connected. What can I say? She was Hollywood connected. That's the best way to put it. And we took advantage of that resource. When I say take advantage, we just reached out to see if people would work. A lot of people can't reach out to certain people of caliber in those fields. And so Yvette was in that space. We reached out to folk. They were interested. We paid them well. We fed them well. Yeah. And we had a great time doing it. And so it started with Yvette's Rolodex, basically, right? And that led to another person with even maybe a bigger Rolodex, and it kind of snowballed from there. It was like a domino effect.
Hmm. Yeah. And Yvette, how important has the connections been with Howard? Because I know Doodlebug was there during your time, especially Puff. I know people probably closing their ears after that.
But wait,
You
but
know,
Dude
I
was
think
my dude too. That's my dude. We call him Knowledge. I'm from Philly.
Not,
And
oh, okay.
Philly, his
Yeah. Yeah.
first name
That's
was
Philly.
Knowledge. I know him as Knowledge, but yeah, he's Doodlebug and yeah, Diggable, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Beck.
I think, it was an evolution because Howard gave me that exposure to everybody. I was hanging with who was Cockroach, who became, part of the crew for Martin, the Martin Show. I mean,
Yeah.
these are people that were just on campus. They were students or they were visiting, and it gave you that level of comfort. I've never been afraid to approach people about things, and that's kind of what led to me having the resources for this. I was an engineering student, became a doctor, and I was totally outside the entertainment field. But knowing Domini and just coming out here to California and just meeting people from that whole all deaf, whole
Yeah.
generation of comedians
Boo
kind of led
Capone. Boo
to,
Capone, he's right there right now. Yeah.
yeah, Boo Capone, Precious Hall, Kamira
Yeah.
White, the list goes on. But
Craig
it's about
Smith.
Clinton. It's about being open and not limiting yourself, and that's really been the key for me. I never limit myself. I never say this is too far fetched or anything like that. And I love entertainment, so that's kind of how it evolved.
No, for sure. And I could tell just with this dedication that you put into the series. So I did want to get into that a little bit with the early life for both sides. And we can start with Yvette because I did my research, especially with your mother being a teacher. So how was this experience of being in Catholic school and how did that kind of shape
Oh,
you
you
onto
went
the path?
way back.
Yeah.
Well, Catholic school was quite an adventure because back in those days, you could hit your students, which was crazy.
The-
However, that's not a important part, but it gave us discipline. It gave us a purpose, a focus from kindergarten on up. And my mother being a teacher was definitely having a teacher she wasn't in Catholic school, but when I was in like fifth grade, she's in the school and I got to deal with her at home and in
Mm.
school. So I didn't want to mess up. But I just wanted to be academic. Being in New Jersey, we had a program in high school called Bell Labs. Had a program. We worked as engineers in the summer. I started at 14, and that led to the interest in engineering. Went on to Howard, loved Howard. Went on to Stanford for grad school. Went on to Penn for grad school, and then met Dominique, who was in the whole industry of music and everything, and that kind of blossomed that side of myself. And then later on, I said, I really want to be a medical doctor. And hey, just 28 years old, I'm like, I know I should be working, but I really want to do this. And it's led to an almost 30-year career in emergency medicine. So that was kind of my life.
No, that's big. And congrats. And was it the high step program too? Was that a big
Yes.
inspiration for you?
Absolutely, it was absolutely because it gave you that maturation work ethic early on. So I knew that there were other things other than trying to find myself. It's like I found myself early, so it gave me the strength to do the many things that I've done in my life. I have to say that.
Yes. And Dominique, we got to get into your journey. I know Yvonne would tell me that you would be more than willing to talk about your credentials within the music space
First
because you have
thing,
a big
first thing,
music
Max, let me
background.
just say this, Max. If you're gonna live in the same room as me, you're gonna have to pay rent, bro. Like if we're gonna be in the same room, you're gonna have to pay. Like, what are we doing? We're splitters. What are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
you just come right through right there. Okay. What do you want to know, man? I make stuff, man. I make stuff. That's and I'm happy to be making stuff. I'm grateful to be making stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
That's
how about your start within the music industry? Let's get into the beginning of your journey
well,
there.
that's back in the '80s, man. There was a group in Philly called Three Times Dope, and
Okay.
they had an album called Live for Mac Nicholas Land. It's on YouTube right now. That was my first time on wax, as we would say in the hip hop era back in the '80s. You on wax? Like it was all about getting on wax, right? Meaning you had a record, right? You were on record and getting played on the radio. So that was my entry into the music industry, right?
Hmm.
That was just after, as a footnote, that was just after a professor at Temple University had given me an F on my midterm, my English professor for writing. And when I confronted him about it and told him like, "Hey, I'm here for communications. This is crazy," he told me I would never be a writer. That's the footnote. Now, fast forward. I've sang with Kwame. If anyone remembers him, well, actually, Kwame has a new single out.
Okay.
Like, listen, hip hop's not dead, yo.
No, it's
Kwame
not.
just released, and it's not bad. Like, so I started singing with this guy probably a little bit before your time. His name is Kwame, right?
The polka dots.
Yes, Biggie famously dissed him, right? But I used to sing with Kwame in the New Beginning, and I'm on one of his albums, a single called Nasty, that came out in about 92. I met Yvette, okay? Yvette became a rocket scientist at NASA. I was hanging out with Yvette tight. She said, "Do you want to go to LA?" I said, "Sure." Cut to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'm on the sets the first month there. I'm on national television with a speaking role. Yeah. So it's been a journey. I could keep going, but I mean, it's all about left or right in this moment, right?
Hmm.
And it's an incredible series. 11 episodes. I keep saying 13. 11 episodes. Slapstick, wit, uh, great comedy. You'll love the show.
Yeah. No, and like I said, it's commentary basically what we're going through in society with the whole digital world of dating,
Yes, sir.
yeah, and that's how it is now.
And
So
I don't think there's another show like it right now, Max. I
no,
don't. I mean, I'm not. And I didn't like plan it out to be that way, but I don't think there's another online dating comedy out there. Series.
no,
Yeah. So go
it's
check
a
it out.
standalone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
For now.
yeah. So how do you plan on expanding the show now? Now that's it's out there and you've officially worked on it.
Well, here's what you do. You see if the world loves it, right?
Mm.
Like it's like anything. I'm an artist and I do have feelings, of course, but I'm a businessman. It's like if the art works, then you keep going. And so let's let the public decide. Please go and watch Left or Right and let us know if you want a season two. There's
Yeah,
11 episodes of season one now. Yeah.
11
We'll play it
episodes.
like
Got
that.
to
We'll play
stream
it
it.
by the wind. We'll let the wind blow us. Yeah.
Let the wind.
Right.
So with this, because you have your own vision and production company, Yvette. So how are you looking to both expand with this now that you are fully immersed into this entertainment space in TV and film?
Good question. So basically, this has been such a great journey for me because I had to learn from scratch because we're indie. There's so many walls that you have to break through, and you just have to be bold with it. So from this, there is a cartoon coming up. There's also another project that's a film. And basically, you just have to work through and figure out what people want, because you please yourself because you put things together and you had a great time putting together, but you also have to think about what others want to see and just try to give something different. So as projects are presented to me and things resonate with me, I go for it. And I don't worry about money. I just say, okay, we'll figure it out because I feel the variety is what's missing. I grew up with variety, television, 80s, 70s, movies, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's not quite the same right now.
Mhm.
And
There's a lot, but I don't. It's not a variety though. It's kind of a lot of the same things.
right, exactly. So we're trying to we're trying to put variety out there. Things that I want to watch, I want to see put together, and it's fun doing it. So that's kind of my approach.
Hmm. No, I agree. There's a lot of shows out there, but very few stand out because I think it is so oversaturated with the same type of themes and messages, and that's why this show, Left or Right, it really stands alone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so important because I know we see a lot. I know there's a ton of influencers that are passing away. I'm sure that you've read about it online, and it's crazy because it's you think about it, it's all these influencers getting popular off of trends, and where are the people such as like yourselves that are doing things out of passion and bringing something different and real to the table? Where we need people to create their own trends and people to be individual, and that's why kind of hip hop has really changed because everyone had their own individual sound back in the '90s, and then nowadays, how can everyone sound the same?
Yeah. Well, Max, everyone has a television studio in their pocket.
Hmm.
And there's a live studio audience in their pocket at any time. That's different. So we're in a different space. Like, you know, so we're going to go through something as a species right now, dealing with this technology and how much we should consume it at once, et cetera. And while we're doing that, you're going to see a lot of clowns. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy's glasses. Look at this guy. Oh, you talking about? Oh, you talking about me? Oh. So anyway, you know, you're going to go through an era like this, and folk in the future will look back like, yo, remember when the internet first started? Like they were, wow, they would do it. So we're in that era. But you know, I think that we put a good product together in the midst of this era, for us to laugh at, you know, while we get through it all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Yvette, I wanted to touch on this, and I know your experience with rocket science and just everything, and being accepted to
Crazy,
Princeton.
break, bro. She's a rocket scientist. Like,
Yeah.
let's do that for a second. Can we just pause for a minute? She's a rocket scientist. Who you know? You know anybody in your crew? Oh,
No, that she's the only
I got a
one.
rocket scientist in my crew. I'll see that. You see.
You're terrible.
Yeah, especially with being accepted to Princeton and you being close with people, especially that were involved in the Microsoft space when going to college. So, is there things that you've been bringing to the table as far as statistically with technology and advancing in that way, and how to really ramp up
Well,
things in analytics for?
right. So that's it's one of the things that was really interesting when I went to medical school is I'm coming from a PhD program that I put a pause on and said, I need to do something that's finite. So I'm heading into medical school and they're looking at me like, you didn't learn like us. You didn't learn rote memory. I made it logical, analytical, because that was my upbringing. That was what I did in school. So that carried into my medical practice. I
You
mean,
got intellectually profiled.
everything has to make sense. When I was a professor at Emory in emergency medicine, we did work with one of my classmates from Penn Engineering. We worked on a project to design a wound irrigator. But now we're in the land of medicine where we're not writing on paper, where we're using computers and people are using Chat GPT to
Mm.
come into my office and tell me what I should do for them. And I love that part.
ChatGPT said, "I need." That's wild.
It is
And so,
wild.
how you get in an argument with ChatGPT as a
How
doctor?
can
That's
I?
crazy.
But I had to learn to adjust because that wasn't what I grew up in medicine. So it does come into play. I have to learn how to adjust my medical practice based on what technology has for us. And being an engineer makes it a little easier for me because I do have that analytical background. So I'm not feeling infringed upon when a computer is telling us, well, I don't think that's right, the right analysis. Let's go another way. But when a patient comes in and tells me, I have to come out of the room and like, I know what I've studied this for 20, then I have to calm down and I go back in the room. I said, well, ChatGPT doesn't have my license, child. So let's deal with reality. But it's cool. That's how I incorporate it in my practice. I have to go with the flow and advance with the times.
Yeah, and the times are definitely uncertain.
Advancing.
Yeah, they're advancing and
Fast
uncertain.
and uncertain is true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I wanted to bring it from this approach too, because we are living through such difficult times now. Just to being a major Black voice in the film space, because we see what's really going on with the narratives being painted around now under this presidency, and just the crazy things that have been going on in society for a while, especially with I'm sure you read about the Smithsonian thing that's been happening now. So how is it trying to be such a powerful Black voice in the TV film space during this time?
So let me show you this real quick. And this is where the Band-Aid comes off. I'm not Black. I don't have to worry about being in a Black space. Now, I am a lovely brown man. I'm a melanated man. Folk do have a problem with it, and they even like to call it Black, right? It starts, first of all, brother, with aligning your stars. Some people have a president. Some people don't. Full stop. I don't know what. I don't play games. I don't play silly games, so I don't win silly prizes. And that's enough on the client. Listen, for folk that are lovely brown like I, and vet and darker and a little lighter. This has been a battlefield.
Hmm.
We've been excellent on the battlefield, Max. You're looking at, she left NASA as an engineer and became an MD. Who do that? He flew through the air with a basketball and would pump it like this before dunking. Who does that? Who? Terrence Howard is coming up with different theorems suggesting that one is not real. Who thinks like that? So the climate is what it is, as someone famously said, but it's been such for certain entities. So, it's just, you move, bro. You move and motivate. And I don't care what your scenario is, even in a certain space, you can move and motivate. Like, you don't have to have a ton of things, but if you see danger, you move away from danger unless you like danger. There's danger all over the universe. Things happening that we don't know about, that we would cover our mouths and get under the covers. It's happening.
Hmm.
There's danger happening here. Be Jedi, be like the water. I land my plane, as we say in the TikTok universe. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What say you?
What's that?
What say you? What do you think?
I think it's difficult now, especially what's being presented in society. Especially you're seeing it. You saw what happened with Jackie Robinson with the Dodgers, and then
But that was
erasing.
supposedly so long ago, Max. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm willing to say I'm not from here. Like, if we need the other so bad, okay, I'm the other. Now what? You want to treat me like chicken? You want to eat me? Like, what are we doing? I'm the other, and then what? I speak your language very well. I mean, so what are we doing? Even if I am the other, you're in the universe with me. Boo, like aliens are real then. What are we doing? And you done seen me for so long. We done seen each other for so long. What are we doing? Are we lions and tiger and leopards? Like, do we got territory? What are we doing? Are we intelligent, high frequency beings? So, you open that can, man. I know we're in a wormhole right now. I'm going to twist myself back out if possible. But you open it. So, do you have something
Well, I understand everyone's angst. I personally have done what I've done from my position, and I try not to limit myself ever. And I try my hardest to support, because I'm dealing with the public with medicine. So I try my hardest to motivate. I try to make people think of things from a different angle. And I try to make them understand, your little microcosm of a world is just as important as everything else. And yes, it's being infringed upon, but you have to be positive. You have to live above and beyond this. I'm happy to have been educated in a historically Black institution, which instilled in us a lot of our history. I don't think it's lost. Maybe it's going to be taken away from others that don't know, but I have it in me. I have millions and millions of people that have it in them that can tell the story. I'm
But what
not.
about the internet? Does the internet have any information? See, I'm lost on this whole idea. There's the internet, right? Like all the
There's a
information,
lot of information there,
and
right?
everybody got a phone, so you can get. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm not saying all of it, but there's a lot of uh, meaty information on the internet. So it's like you're trying to shut down things that tell truths, but bruh, the truth is broadcast through the ether at this point. What are we doing? It's
Yeah.
like it's like this attack on that particular word woke, right?
Mhm.
I'm not married to none of this language. I ain't create, I've mastered the English language, yeah, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't have so folk demonizing a word. So you want to change the definition of the word woke into something, well, that means what? People that are opposed to your political views? Like, but woke has a definition. So what's the opposite of woke? If you don't like the people that are woke, what's the opposite of woke? What do you do when you're not woke? You're asleep. But then again, you can't really dream if you're not asleep, some say. And there's a dream they talk about. You got to be asleep maybe. But it's just a weird, it's like an attack on words. that's a funny thing. Like,
Hmm.
so the word woke now means something different than awareness. We out of control.
Yeah.
This is top down out of control. Like the monkeys are running the asylum. Is that the acronym? Yeah, is that the saying? Yeah. I don't know, man. You did this, Max. Stop it. Stop this. Turn this train around.
Uh, yeah, no, I just know because it's definitely like I said, Yvette touched on it. It's definitely a time where things are infringing, and I always want to make sure to bring it up in spaces like this because it's
Indeed.
important. Yeah.
Indeed. And that's the rightful thing to do. Anyone that is worth their ilk living in a time like this, we should be speaking. If we're not, use the
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree, and especially too with how are things have changed now, especially with you relocating to LA, both of you when you first got there. Now that because I mean you touched on this earlier with everyone having a movie studio in their pocket.
yeah.
So how has things really changed on that end now?
We're on, bro. Listen, man. We're old, but we love this technology stuff. We fella, we know what to do. We know. Listen, man. Yvette mentioned that we're starting production on a cartoon. That's next
Mhm.
month. We're already producing something with the alien tech, the alien technology. They call it AI. I call it alien information, but we're working with that because it's been released to the world. A little more of this thing that's here has been released, and weirdos like me that create stuff, we need deep. And they haven't even released the full version, but I know those that know this technology know that those of us know we're already on it, but they're releasing it slow. But we're already doing something in the space of AI to create film. And yes, it's exponentially faster and dare I say cheaper. And so once again, there's another industry that's about to be torn to pieces. Multi-billion dollar industry annually is about to be gone. They did it to the music industry 20 years ago. I should say the technology did it to the music industry 20 years ago. And the technology's back again, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, I have right up on my top screen, I'm working on this film that Yvette was talking about. I don't even want to say the name of it, bro. The name alone will cause a whole nother hour conversation. I promise you. The name of the movie alone. So we're in production on that and next month on the cartoon. But yeah, we are in tune with the era that we live. I mean,
Yeah.
Yvette's a rocket scientist, bro. You think we're gonna be over here making pancakes?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
uh, so with the cartoon, where's this? Is this going to be on Amazon as well? Where's this going to be
You know
potentially
what's great
broadcast
about
through?
now, Max, is that there's different agents and agencies that will get you seen in front of all of the streaming services. So what's great about now, at least in this space, we can create as even as independent producers, and we can get it to all of the streaming services. And if it's quality, I mean, they want content like, we want air. Like they want the content and they can't because they need something new. Everybody has the device. So that's what I'm saying. We're in a space now where we're creators and we're creating in the space where people consume on a moment by not daily, moment by moment basis. And the streaming services need more content on a regular basis. So it's a good space right now. And yeah, we just make a great product. Talk to agency, boom, distribution. Yeah.
And from there too, are you looking to expand even more with the show? Do you have other ideas besides cartoons? Maybe even taking it further into like a play or even wanting to develop a soundtrack out of it to even put artists on?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. We've got a bunch of projects ahead of or behind the two that we're working on right now. There's a heist film. There's another television series. There's projects on the drawing board, right? Um, Listen, man, stick around. Like stick around. I'm sticking around. And every year you're gonna see something out of Reality Motion Picks. This year, it's Left or Right,
Mm,
Amazon Prime, right now.
left to
Go check
right.
it out.
Yeah, you gotta go check this out. It's really important. And I want to talk about the studio space. So are you planning on, because I know you cast artists and things like that. So are you looking to do more work with artists as well on musically on the side of things as well?
I'm always down to. I love artists, bro.
Yeah.
I've my whole life has been around artists and artistry, so I'm always down to. It's just about the vibration, like
Hmm.
anything. I don't work with just anybody. I mean, I don't work with just. I love all types of music, and I mean all types of music, right? So that's not an issue, and I can make all types of music, but it's just about what the energy is, man. What the kids say, what's the vibes?
Yeah, yeah, that's the new
It's all
terminology.
about the vibes. It's the vibe. I've made some great. Listen, you want to hear some great music, y'all? Go check out this band called Jack Herrera. It's on iTunes right now. The album is called Retro Futuristo. Jack Herrera, Retro Futuristo. I've made some incredible music with some incredible artists throughout my life, right?
Hmm.
That's one of the most incredible that I've done, that whole album with my man John B and Silky Deluxe.
Wow.
So I've, I'm always open to collaborating. It's just about the vibes. It's just
Hmm.
about
Yeah. Yvette, I wanted to get into this because you worked in hospitals as well for a long time, and just you really, what was it the spark for you to really come to the crossroads to delve into the film work? Because we got into the story of you linking up with Domini. So what was that change for you where you said, I'm gonna leap into this field?
Well, I mean, I kind of got inspired from his music video. I got in touch with a comedian, and the comedian and I have actually a podcast studio in LA, actual brick and mortar. And from that, that's kind of what led me into seeing the evolution of, starting these projects, being involved with these projects. And it just gives me the light. It's a very heavy area to be in emergency medicine. It's very heavy. It's exciting, but it is heavy. And I needed something lighter. And they comedians bring light, and just even seeing the world that they live in, it's not easy. It's not easy for them either. But I just enjoy how the mind works in terms of coming up with different content, coming up with different shows, and just being in that world. It's just really exciting, and especially when you're not reliant on it financially. That's the big thing for my side of it. And then you're able to financially help others get their work out there. So that's kind of my whole thing, is kind of being in that position, and then just enjoying the things that are produced. I mean, the pandemic was like, we really heavily relied on streamers. We really heavily relied on streaming services, podcasts, content, YouTube. And I think that it was just kind of a natural flow to get into being able to set up a studio that people could come and use. We let them use it. I want people to be able to be creative without having to worry about money, because that really holds you back a lot of times. Now, I'm not rich, no, but I know that when we work together and it's synergistic, that's when we get great stuff, and that's the part I enjoy, getting it put out there and helping the projects come to life.
Mhm. No, that is important because I know that a lot of times I know we see with today's standard, it's all money based and money driven, and that's a lot of times why people do it instead of for the love of it. And I think that's why we have such a lack of art in today's era, music and film combined, especially with social media. And we need to get back to the passion that people have for the art instead of just going right for the money and the fame. And that's so important. And Dominique, I wanted to touch on this because you have so many roles with this as far as behind the scenes is writing. So how do you balance so many of these positions on left and right?
my God. Silence of the Lambs. I said my yacht. Don't nobody know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool.
No,
My yacht means
sorry.
balance. My yacht means balance. MAAT. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a commission. Anyway. Listen, man, I'm a crazy person. If you haven't noticed, like you crazy too, though, because look at again, we in the same room. I'm like, my man, you got hustle. I have a hustle sign. Stop playing, bro. What are you doing? You have the same mic. What do we don't dude, don't take my room, bro. So I ain't got to tell you, you just as crazy as I am. I'm an artist, and luckily, like I said in the beginning, I am so grateful to be able to do art every day, bro.
Hmm.
Trust and believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's,
So, as long as I'm making something, I'm cool.
mhm.
Yeah.
Is there any certain people that you want to collaborate with? I mean, you've worked with so many legends in the industry, of course, especially with early on in your career. Is there anyone that you would love to work with?
I want to work with intelligence.
Mm.
Mm.
I know that sounds crazy, but
Well, you have Yvette.
yeah, well, yeah.
I'm his little
Case in
sidekick.
point. Case in point. Like, I want to work with intelligence, in whatever shape form it comes in. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever crayon color you is, you intelligent? We can rock. We can do something. We can work. That, and yes, I've been privileged to work with, some of the biggest names on planet Earth, living and passed away, right? So that thing is kind of fulfilled. I mean, I'll work with anybody, but listen, I just want to work with folks that have a similar frequency so we can get it done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 No, and you two are definitely on the same frequency, left
Yeah.
or right, available on all platforms now. So what's some of the traction that you have received so far that you noticed from the show from people streaming?
Man, I mean, people have it's funny because when you make something, whatever you do, and you say, "Hey, look at this," and it's your friend or something, you take it with a grain of salt because I mean, I have some really critical friends, but I haven't had any negative reviews,
That's
so I don't know
good.
how that works. Like somebody lying, what you doing? So everybody like it? So it's not been any negative. I haven't. So that's why I say everyone go and check it out. Some of you may not like it. Maybe you might find Boo Capone a little too brash. Maybe you don't like Craig Smith's weirdness, the character he plays. Maybe you don't like that. I don't know. Uh, Black Jesus.
Swing
Uh,
Johnson.
yes. Sling Johnson. You might not like him having 9 babies in the show. You may not like that, or you might. Go check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous show. It's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
People got to check it out, stream it. It's available on Amazon Prime. Make sure you go tune into this.
Yeah.
And Yvette, because also a proud mother, so how are your children inspired by what you're doing right now?
Mm.
Well, when you're a mother of a 19 and a 24-year-old, you're kind of considered to be corny, whatever. But no,
That's
I think
crazy.
that I've always supported them in their arts, and I am very proud of them. One's pre-med, and the other one finished journalism and studying music. I think I lead by example. That's the best thing that I can do, and they have always brought joy because they've always been go-getters. My youngest daughter is a dancer, a hip hop dancer, and she's always that kind of also was one of the inspirations because she was in a little short film, and that kind
Mm.
of gave me the insights to being on set. Now, this is with children, so that was even more complicated because you have to have tutors and
Mm.
all of that. And I think seeing what the process that they went through and going to her shows was also a big inspiration for me. So actually more inspired by my children than I'm per se inspiring them for the entertainment field. But they're proud. They don't tell me that, but I know they are.
Right.
Well, how about this to make this an interesting conversation here? What are you looking for when you swipe?
Wow. Really?
Mm.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
Me?
Go ahead and
Okay.
swipe.
I have swiped, and it was the negative left. It's been more left than right. I will
Mm.
say that it. One of the things that is good for those who have success on online dating is people are a little bit more vulnerable. You have to be more conversant. You have to. You're forced to be. It's there. The awkward pauses kind of aren't there. Some people hide behind their persona, but I think in some instances you get the true essence of the person. So for me, intelligence, of course, like Dominique says, a good heart, a kind soul, family oriented, someone who has talents and interests, that would be exciting to me. Yeah.
Hmm. All right, Dominique, it's your turn.
Bruh.
Intelligence, I already know that.
But the crazy thing is, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't swipe either way. I can't do it. I'm from a different era, dude. I'm from an era where the woman would walk down the street and you're half a block away. And before she gets to the corner, you're next to her. And you roll up so smooth. And your approach is so professional. You understand me? I'm from that era where a woman was never a bitch. Is you crazy? Like that was not. See, I'm from a different cloth, and this is there's a pageantry. There's a pageantry. There's a mystery to the meeting in person. Like now, while I made this great show, I'm a hypocrite.
No, I agree. I'm not, I don't swipe either. I'm not a swiper. I'm someone that's really upfront. I like to have a conversation. I feel as though, especially what Yvette said, there's people that really paint themselves to be something that they're not when they're on the screen. And it's happened with me. People that I met in person, they're completely different online. So that's even worse because it's like you're living a double life.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy world, and some people want to stay there. Some people, look, we're about to have AI robot boyfriends and girlfriends. Oh, what is that? Oh my God. I saw that on TV. I saw that yesterday. I'm like, oh, we're really going down that deep rabbit hole.
We don't know we second class citizens yet. We don't know yet. We just don't know yet. I just wanted to be time stamped that I said humans are sitting now in this moment, second class citizens. We just don't know it. And we're gonna be mad when we find out, like, yo, wait a minute. And they're metal. Well, first of all, AI can make itself into anything. We already know. Like, so we have to get into what is AI, but that's a whole nother bag. But they're metal. What they're going to show us is going to be metal, and they're going to be like, stand over there, sir. And you're going to be like, I'm not standing nowhere, metal officer. Sir, I'm going to give you one more time. Stand over there with your nut ass. And you not going to move, and you're going to see what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to be an older man but it's still going to happen, Max. You youngsters can laugh if you want.
Yvette brought this up. Hey, season 2.
I did. It's like I'm caught between my engineering world and my medicine world. I can't help it, but it's reality. I mean, the stuff that I've seen advance in technology in my short lifetime it's just wild. That part. The computer used to take up the whole room, and I used to use a phone and hook up to a phone and hear noise. Now I have it in my hand. What?
Max, there was a time when the phone would be connected to the wall, bro.
The rotaries.
Hold on, homie. It was a rotary phone, and you was dope, Max. Hold on, you got to understand this nuance. You were dope on the block if your cord was like 12 feet long. Like, you didn't have just a like 6-inch cord. If you had like a long cord that you bought from somewhere, and your phone, that was almost like the first cell phone. You was roaming around the crib. What you mean? Girl, what? What happened? Bruh, we're in the jet, like we are in the Jetsons, and me and Yvette know what the Jetsons was, and we in the Jetsons now. And what happened? So okay. Again, that's a whole other show, man. What are you doing? Left or right? You gotta swipe left or right. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm totally with you, but hey, Yvette, even like I was going to elaborate from what Yvette brought up. Season 2, you never know if society gets really crazy here. You might be doing season 2 on swipe left or right for the robot.
For the Android love.
Yeah.
Android love.
The new show is Android Love. Watch out for that, you guys.
Yeah, watch out for that.
Android love. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It really is. It's crazy what's going on here. But I think this show definitely speaks to everything that's going on right now. It's relatable, and it's interesting to see your take on this behind the scenes, Domini, knowing that you don't swipe at all. So that brings another interesting perspective on what's going on.
I mean, but I've dated, so let's not. So because some people listen to like, I know him. He was with my grandmother and my. So I've dated, and for decades. And so, it's still a human story, Max. At the end of the day, all of what we do is we tell stories to convey something that happened or our emotions. And it's a human story. So while I don't actively online date, right? I have people around me that do. I live in a world that does. and I know what dating is. So ultimately, the people got to get together, right? Yeah, I mean, unless you just want to staying here is crazy. That's when it's like, yo, I ain't never met
A lot
this.
of people that stay right there, they do. But I also want to emphasize that in our show, there's a lot of messages. It's subtle, but that's the other thing that I like. I like that level of the intelligence of the show. There are a lot of messages if you pay attention, and I think that a lot of people will resonate with it. I do. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And also, we had such synergy on set. People were allowed to be free. We had a script, but we allowed them to bring their own elements in.
Yeah.
So I think that's what gives it a little bit of realism, for even though it's wacky, but it gives a little realism because people put their own take on the script, and we allowed them the freedom to do that as long as it was within context. But it made it really, really special.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to really dive into the themes because there's so many here, from drama, comedy, and we could talk about just the cues of just what's going on, especially important of being aware. So what were some of the main things that you wanted to really have the audience come across in this show with the themes?
Well, again, we're in an era where divorce is what, 70 something percent?
Mm-hmm.
It's close to that somewhere. And now with the advent of this particular piece of technology, right? Now we've had the smartphone, but the apps are changing the game. Like, we heard about apps 15 years ago and you put an app on it, and the apps that we've had for the past decade or so, they've been cool and dope. Listen, when you talk about apps like Flow, Google Flow now, ChatGPT, bruh, like the apps have turned this thing, what was just a rectangle, now it's turning into like, wait a minute, like it literally is a movie studio now. What are we doing? What other capabilities does this thing have? And what's first of all, if any businessman, you're a smart businessman, if you got a great product, are you going to release the whole product at once, Max?
No.
If you are, I'll buy it all right now. I'll buy it all of it right now, Max. You're going to release all that out. No, you ain't got to put it on the market. I'll buy all of it, Max. Max, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little, man, it's going to be so teeny. I'm going to take a little teeny piece off of the tech. And I want to tell you, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Look at that. You see that? I'm like, oh my God, look at that. And it's just a crumb off of. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are. This is my hypothesis. There's something grand and great behind the curtain. And we're getting small pieces at a time. And we're being brought along because we silly monkeys like that. We need to be brought along. We're scary. If we're not brought along slowly, we get scared. We're scared of skin tone. Think about that.
Yeah.
Anything more intelligent than us knows they are scared of skin tone. They think they different and they weird. So you can't give them this stuff one little crochet at a time, croquette, nugget at a time. And I think that's where we are with the technology. So as I create, I create in that mindset. I feel like something has shown us a few things in movies, television shows throughout the years, throughout the decades, and I feel like I know at least a little bit where it's going. So, I write within a certain space like that for certain projects, yeah. And so Left to Right is one of those type of projects because it falls in the particular zeitgeist we're in perfectly. Like everyone's swiping right now. There's millions, if not hundreds of millions of people swiping to date across the planet. And there's no other show on the planet like it. It's only Left to Right. Yeah. Guys, go check it out. Just on the fact that we made a show that nobody else made, all the shows are the same. We made a show that no one else made. If you think it's garbage, Yvette will give you a penny back.
It's true. Even when
how much is a million pennies?
Hey, they're swiping left or right when they're watching any other show when they're on TV. So why not watch Left or Right?
And I mean, and then we get into the thing that we love certain things and we watch certain things over and over again. Here's something fresh and new, but also very relevant to our era. Mm-hmm. And it's, right. I stress that it's funny because what's the point of watching it? It's funny. Like there's top tier comedians in this thing. Yeah. Shout out to my man Joffrey Schmeiser too. Joff. And the
The scene
twins.
with the Cubans, I did see that the Cuban cigars in the bed.
Oh yes, with Norm Nixon Jr.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's comedian actor Norm Nixon, Debbie Allen's son. Norm
Yes,
Nixon's
Okay,
son.
yeah.
Yeah, he's great in the series. Yeah, yeah.
Father played for the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. And he
exactly.
plays a playboy corporate elite in Left or Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The comedy is definitely there. People really need to tune into this. I think they're going to get a kick out of it. It relates to, like I said, just everything that's going on with the dating world and society right now, current times. You guys have really had so much experience in all your fields and have really interesting life stories. Have you thought about writing a book for each of you on your biographies? Is that something that you guys have thought about?
We're gonna make a movie about Yvette's life. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I have a book out. It's called The Question is the Answer. I almost forgot the title of the book. The book is called The Question is the Answer. It's on Amazon right now. You can get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yvette, are you going to be writing? Because I know Dominique said he was going to be making a book here on you. Is there some stuff that you've thought about was doing your own autobiography? Autobiography?
I've thought of going from different angles. I think when you're in your life, it's kind of hard to like separate yourself out and say,
That's
if
crazy.
I write, it's almost conclusive. But I feel like this is the beginning. You know, I did a couple of podcasts in my own studio where we talked about some of the things I've been through in my life, and then doing this tour for Left or Right. I think there will come a time where I'll document everything, and I know Dominique has always offered, and I would accept that challenge to see what we can do because there's a lot to it. It was never simple. It was never easy. There were ups, downs, sad, happy times, and I think it would resonate with people across the globe because it is I didn't think about it as I was going through it, but then when I look back, I'm like, oh God, that was me. When you're like a moving train, you
Mm.
don't have time to stop and go back to the previous station. You just keep moving forward. But I think it would help, and I think one day I'll put it out there.
Dominique, and both for you, Yvette, you could touch on this because Dominique, you got the music background being with Three Times Dope and rapping with Kwame back in the day, or actually singing with Kwame. So, who are five artists that impressed you in today's generation? Because we know the generation you came from was the golden era. So, who are the artists that do impress you from today?
That's crazy. Go ahead, Yvette.
First, okay.
Go ahead, Yvette.
I love Tyler the Creator
Okay.
for his uniqueness and boldness.
Hmm.
And I have my children kind of introduced me to things. I still have my old stables. Let's see who else do I resonate with. They're still from that same camp. Steve Lacy. This is a funny tale. Because I'm old. I was in a restaurant in LA and I'm talking to this young lady and she's talking about how things have changed and she wished, young people had places to go and like almost like a family reunion picnic. And we were talking about the food on the menu and I'm kind of chatty, jokey. I was like, oh yeah, I know everything because I'm a big girl. Ugh. And my daughter, when I was describing it to her, she said, do you know who you were just talking to? And I said, no. She says, you were talking to Sid the Kid from the internet and Steve Lacy, and you're stupid, Mom. You didn't realize that's who that you were around talking and acting stupid. And the thing is, I just resonate with a lot of the young folks from this generation because of the messages that they have, and they don't fall prey to the negativity. I still have my old staples. I'm a Stevie Wonder fan. In terms of rap, I'm a Tribe Called Quest fan. I'm a Queen Latifah fan. There's just so many that have still risen above their age and continue till this era. But those young ones, I have to see that camp, the whole Odd Future, Tyler Creator, all of those. I love all of their music and the things that they put out there.
Yeah. Frank Ocean too. He's another one.
Frank Ocean, definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, Dominique, you're up to bat now.
In all five slots, Jasmine Sullivan.
Mm,
Oh.
All five slots.
all five.
Just all five.
That's high praise.
Jasmine in every slot.
But why is she in every slot for you?
Never heard Jasmine Sullivan sing?
I've heard her sing. She's fantastic. There's no one else That's it.
I mean, because like I said, because we're in a transition technologically.
Mhm.
Music has been sold to us in the past 80 years through technology. And when the technology changed, check it, clock it, as the kids say, the music changed.
Mm.
So when we got the radio, we were still in the juke joint with acoustic guitars and you had blues. But when the technology came with the TV and the electricity started getting in the houses, you had the electric guitar, which turned to rock and roll, which was blues a second ago,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You go further and you get your Motown sound and your soul using the 45 record, right, as a platform. It sounded a certain way, it had a certain crackle, it was a certain aesthetic to it. I'm gonna stop there. At the end of the day, you can follow the path of the technology, and the music has changed personality bars, right? So today, it's like hit it and quit it. It's like it's so quick. It's a quickie. Like there's no listen. You had to learn how to play the trumpet, homie. You had to
Mhm.
learn how to play the piano. Like there was time taken. Like this thing, time is relevant to our species, but we're dealing with something that's not human. I said it. So time to us, we need to develop and to cultivate, which is what culture. We're losing stuff because the technology is moving quicker than we move now. If we were at a similar pace at one point, probably somewhere around the 80s, 90s, it was like a similar pace with the technology and us, and we can rock with it. And then it started getting fast. It's fast. I'm a filmmaker. I made a TV show last year, me and Yvette. I'm making a movie right now in my studio. Just me and the technology.
Mm. Deep.
Somebody gonna hear what I'm talking about. So when you ask me about, what I like today, man, there's not enough time for today's superstars to cultivate.
Mhm.
They come off half-ass a lot. Not all, but that's why I put Jasmine in every slot because this is a superstar. I've known this young lady since she was 13 years old. I saw her in grown people's clubs ripping it apart at 13 years old. Live. No auto tune, live band, live horns, her on the mic, drums, key, Rhodes, and I've seen the maturation. I've been uh, privileged enough to write a few things with Jasmine, and I've just seen the maturation. And it's just, she's the litmus that she's today's Aretha or Whitney. What did I say? Today's Beyonce, and Beyonce is all alive. I love you, Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Shout out to Beyonce.
Mhm. No, and you brought up a great point there because I feel as though even when I do listen to the newer artists of today, I always go back to, Tribe Called Quest or even Whitney Houston, Wu-Tang. I always find myself back there. I may listen. You're right. It's like a quick hit. It's a quickie. You listen to the new music, but you always go back to the old one
And that's kind of
constantly.
deep because I'm gonna show you something. I don't know about Yvette, but I didn't like oldie music when I was good. Like in the 80s when they would remember they would play like 60s commercials.
Yeah.
Get the Supremes on and those didn't know
Yeah.
just because I love Supreme. I shouldn't use them. But anyway, get Jimmy Valentino and such and such and such. I used to hate those commercials and the music that they played. And now again, I'm biased, Max, because I'm from the 70s on, right? So I
Mhm.
came in this piece with afros and Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson.
Yes.
That was my entrance to the world, and we was rocking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I didn't go through, it was like this other era. They was getting it together. Again, the technology. And as the technology moved, the grooves got tighter. The people got tighter with the performances. They realized, oh, this is a thing. But the technology's been moving us, and that's the thing to pay attention to. So again, we're in this space now where we can make left or right. Tomorrow, left or right might make itself and just pay me because I said make it.
Yeah.
It's true. It is happening. It is happening.
It is, yeah. And you brought up Michael Jackson. I know today it's really changed because I know today the younger generation considers Drake to be the new Michael Jackson. That's what they.
How dare you? How dare like I will walk off this set. Oh, I'm home. Oh, okay. I will, you know what I'm talking about? What? No disrespect to Drake, but Drake could never Michael Jackson. You don't understand. There was no internet. And yet he was everywhere. Like in everybody's mouth, everybody had a red jacket.
Yeah.
You could be from Korea. Like you don't understand.
True,
He was
yeah.
the first viral before the word was created.
Right.
He was I mean, it was still a word for medical diseases, obviously. You know, we got Yvette in the house, but viral as like a sensation, that wasn't a thing yet. Michael was that. He was the first of that.
Mhm.
So no, Drake, bless Drake's heart. Bless anybody's heart. Because anybody, no, you just, if you were there, you know, no, you're not touching Michael. Listen, the only people that can mess with Mike, that can have a conversation with Mike, is like Prince.
Hmm.
That's the only person that might have a conversation, but really, when it's all said and done, Prince was the better musician, et cetera, et cetera. But Mike was the phenomenon, and we all know it. But you know, like it's like he's the only person that could have something to say to Mike. But anybody after Mike, you're his son. What are you talking about? You're his daughter. He showed you how to do it.
Yeah.
I see little babies online now dancing to Michael Jackson. Like, wait a minute, and love Michael Jackson. Wait a minute, you just were born 3 years ago. You don't even know that. So when your vibration is that, and that's what I mean about, you know, collaboration. When you are rocking at a high frequency, you don't share it with just anything because it ain't just for anything, right? And when that frequency is at a certain pitch, bro, it goes forever. Children, Michael's been gone for almost what 20 years now, almost 15 years, and little kids love Michael Jackson. How do you love? And I never loved old music. Getting back to the point, I never loved old music like that. I like the Supremes. They had the Motown stuff was cool, but it was a lot of other stuff, Frankie Valli and all that. I wasn't into like what this
All the Rat Pack and all that.
Out of my face. This doo-wop stuff was trash. It was trash,
Yeah.
but it was hell. It was still very segregated. I mean, you know, we can call ourselves segregated now. That was real segregated. You couldn't live in certain place, and they did the music that way. So they had Herbs actually singing, but they couldn't sing, and the real cats were in the neighborhoods on the corners doo-wopping, and then they would have these cats come in and do a record. These cats, that's not the real deal, you know. Okay.
Well, when you speak of frequency, I remember an interview with the Silvers, and I think Leon Silver is the one who produced a lot of the music for them. I mean, that's another, you know, under recognized group, family group.
Yeah.
But he talked about how when he made his music, it resonated with the young, and his music is sampled a lot in today's. Yes. Still. And I think that the art of development of things, whether it's in engineering, in medicine, in music, in art, you have to take the baby steps and you have to go through the process. And yes, we're advanced in many ways. I'm a part of the technology development. You know, I'm proud, but there's also that element of the slow down and take it one step at a time. Yes, we have to advance and be as fast as our computers, but the step-by-step process, you cannot underestimate that.
Ben, you know what? You just reminded me of something though. Because I was like nodding with you. I was like, yup, you're right. And you just reminded me of something. Neuralink.
Oh.
There's a technology right here, right now. It's been around for a couple years, 4 or 5 years, called Neuralink, owned by Elon Musk, where you can get a little chip right here. And you'll be connected to the internet. You can make things move on the computer screen. So while I was talking about how artists need time, yeah, y'all old artists need time. I got this thing right here. I just learned how to play the guitar in a nanosecond, homie. What are you talking about? I am Carlos Santana on the guitar right now. What do you mean? Hand me a guitar. Right here. Yeah. And I'm about to get the new program. I'll be able to levitate. What are you talking about? You about to walk there? I'm about to levitate there because I got this thing in my magnetic. It shoots out and goes against the planet, and I get to fly. You don't got that? No, I don't have. I'm going to walk down to the market. You made me think of that. That's it. Listen,
No, I did. I brought you
we're
there.
here. We're in it. It's about to change, man. It's
Hmm.
about to change. I'm telling you, I'm an old man, but I can see it. It's coming. It's about to change. It's here already. The neural link is already a thing, Max. You
Hmm.
know it.
Yeah.
So even though we are in this space, we're aware, we're intelligent, we're still somewhat speaking the Old Testament, and we know better. And it's like, nah, it's here. The Borg has started. What do you mean? Okay. I told you, don't ask me questions. I'm not doing any more of these interviews, as a matter of fact. This is
So, because
personal.
you guys are innovators in your own right. You established a great atmosphere on set with people really being able to be themselves within this project. So, how about mentoring? Is there some mentoring that's going on to where you're trying to help up and coming filmmakers behind the scenes? Kind of like what you mentioned, Dominique, with being on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So, you starting out in the film world. So, is there people that you're recognizing their talent right away that's young and up and coming?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I'm not around a lot of young people, but I like to think that when we do these productions, because we work with a host of different levels of talent, right? And so I like to think that I'm learning and teaching at the same time.
Mhm.
Someone on set may not know something, and someone else may know way better than me, right? I've been doing it for a while, but I don't know it all. So I approach it like that. I would love to, just to put it out there, to work with more up and coming filmmakers for sure. But if I could tell them anything, if I couldn't meet them in person, just like let your imagination run wild. We're in the era of wild imagination. Yeah.
It definitely, yeah, it's definitely a wild imagination era for sure. Yvette, is there anything you wanted to add to that as far as mentor, especially being a mother?
Right. I do it every day at work. There's a lot of misguided young folks that have a lot of access to things that we never did. So, it's sometimes too much is too much.
Mm.
And, you kind of have to reel it back in. So I try to give a base of reality from my perspective to try to help, especially when I see them going the wrong way. Also, just being able to have that studio and allowing people to just be in there and create, and allowing them to there's some experienced people that come through. I mean, people that have come through our studio are like amazing. I'm not going to mention names, but it's been some high level people, and then the younger we have a person who does production, young guy, very, very, very young guy, and he gets to experience a lot that he probably never would have by being there. So I just like to give in whatever capacity I can to help others be the better part of themselves, because
Mm.
there's a lot of lack of hope out there. But whatever moment I have with people, I just try to draw that out, try to make something a little bit more positive and educate. And I learn from them too. It's not like I'm too old, I can't learn, but it's an exchange. That's what I love, the exchange.
Mm. No, that's real, and I appreciate that, especially being a guide for the younger generation. That's important. We need people to instill hope in the young generation, especially during this day and age that we're living in. And guys, it's definitely been a wonderful time speaking with you too. Is there anything
Yes,
else
sir.
that you wanted to let the audience know about, left or right, that we didn't discuss here tonight?
It's the greatest show ever.
Amazon Prime,
Amazon Prime. Go check it out right now, left or right.
left or right.
Exactly. Ditto that.
Yeah. Make sure you go stream it. Available to watch season one. And make sure you get the viewership up, get the positive reviews in, so there could be a season two.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dominique and Yvette already have the ideas written down.
If they want it, we'll bring it. They just got
Yeah.
to want it. That's all.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see some robots in there. Maybe Zap and Roger were right when they said computer love, because this is what it
Maybe.
is now.
Oh, you brought
Maybe.
it up.
Zach and Roger were
Really
prophets. You didn't know that? They prophets.
Yeah.
burned
No, it's definitely been a pleasure to getting to know the two of you,
You
Yvette,
too,
and just me
Max.
reading all about you, and Dominique, you bringing everything to the table. Because Yvonne sent me the press release, and she said that you were going to explain everything on air, but didn't know that you were part of Three Times Dope and had all this musical experience with legends behind the scenes. That's fire. Yeah, You're a pioneer legend in the game
It
for
is, it
sure.
is it is great. I'm not going to downplay it. It is great when I look back on it to realize what it was. Like, oh, you were there and oh, okay, cool. But
Yeah.
when you're doing it, just like how you're living life right now, you're just doing it.
Hmm.
And just remember to do it to the max every day.
Yes.
Like it's every day, every moment. You understand? Like, and then you'll get to be an old man like me and look back and say, look at what I've done. This is incredible shit I've done. Yeah. Just be great right now. Max, you doing your thing. Keep
Yes.
doing it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like stay nose to the grind.
Yeah,
When you
that's
look
important.
up, you're in your mansion, you're probably in a mansion. Like I said, you're in my place right now, so we're
Well,
gonna have to cut that rent out. That's crazy. I didn't even know you moved in like that. Wow. So you're gonna keep that right there too? That's gonna be there? Okay, cool.
uh, and because I didn't even know that you were into the Philly hip hop scene. Have you thought about doing a piece, even like a documentary on the hip hop scene in Philly
Well,
and R&B?
no, it would be a thing. I actually have a documentary. When I told you that Jasmine Sullivan would sing at these nightclubs, these grown nightclubs, when she was 13 years old, I have a complete documentary of her, Jaguar Wright, Jill Scott, Bilal, The Roots,
Wow.
Kindred, The Family Soul, Jack Herrera, just a host of Floetry. My God, Marsha, Natalie, Floetry. Those are my people. So I have a host of concerts from this particular arena in Philly called the Five Spot. And that's where every Tuesday night in this neo soul era, circa day 99 to about 2004, right? Packed, sold out, and you get a show for $5. You get Jill Scott for five. You get Jasmine Sullivan for $5 at 13. You get the Roots for $5. Like it was called the Five Spot, and it'd be packed out. And so I have a document. I just haven't put it together yet, but that could be in the works. Yeah.
That's amazing, and especially Yvette too. I would love to see you do something with the Jersey hip hop scene because
Oh
he's originally
yeah.
from there,
Yes.
Thornhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Naughty
lot.
by
It's between
nature.
that juxtaposition between New York or Jersey and Philly. I mean, that is a lot of history, in hip hop.
So Max, you like hip hop?
Yeah, oh, big time.
Uh, Go check out when we get done this. Go check out a song called "I Don't Care" by The Roots, featuring Dom.
Mm, that's you.
Oh, it might be.
I gotta check that
You gotta
out.
let me. You gotta let us know what you think about the song. Though, if it's
Yeah, I'm
whack,
gonna.
it's not me.
I'm gonna check that out
Yeah,
for
The
sure.
Roots
Yeah, you.
featuring Dom. I don't care.
I don't care. No, I'm gonna check that out. That's big and
Yeah, yeah,
legendary.
yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've done some things, and I've looked back. Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And YouTube wasn't even a thing when I did that song with them in 2004. So what's great is it lives forever now. Like, it's like you used to have to listen to the radio to hear what you wanted. Now you can just get your little device, play The Roots, I Don't Care, featuring Dom. And that wasn't even a thing when we made the song. So again, you just stay with the moment as an
Mhm.
artist, right?
Yeah.
You reflect the moment as an artist, right?
Mhm. No. Did because you mentioned all the greats from there. Did you get to meet with Steady B?
Um, Steady B is in jail for murder. You know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he killed him and Cool C killed a female cop. Now,
Wow.
that ain't my business. I was in LA by that time. They did that.
That's crazy.
I
Wow, I
told
didn't
you,
even know that because I know you're from
they're in
Philly.
death row right now, bro. You want to holler at them, get an interview. I'm sure they give you an interview. I'm sure they wouldn't mind give you an interview. But
That's
yeah, they've
crazy.
been locked up for decades. And my very loose affiliation, when I say loose, I mean, Tat Money was Steady B's DJ.
Hmm.
Tat Money, right? World famous DJ Tat Money. Tat Money started to DJ for Kwame, who I started to sing with.
Hmm.
So there was a degree of separation between me and the Hilltop Hustlers crew, which was Steady B and Cool C and all them. But they did not like Tat after he left and started singing with the polka dot GQ dude. They thought that was soft. Are you gonna go? We hard, and you go sing with him? Yeah, there's girls over here. There's girls. Kwame, there's girls over here. There's a bunch of guys over there standing. Y'all holding your pants, and y'all hard. That's weird. And then me and Tad are over here with Kwame. There's a lot of girls over here. Look, that song "Only You." Like the girls love that, and y'all shot a lady. Now you with dudes in jail, and me and Tad still out here with the girls and Kwame. Kwame just put another song out.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You keep bringing me down these rumbles. I got to get off this. We got to stop this. Because this is like this is left or right, Amazon Prime. But no, so yeah, I've had the privilege of working with all the greats in Philly, except I don't call them great, but Steady B and Cool C. Steady B is in my first feature-length film called Center City. It's on Amazon Prime right now. Steady B is credited for being the first gangster rapper. He's from Philadelphia. He had a famous song called PSK in '85. Right. It's been sampled a ton of times since. I told you I work with the Roots.
Yeah.
There's a young lady named Jill Scott. I know her.
Another legend.
Let's just say that. Yeah, everybody, Diggable Planets, knowledge is from Philly.
Mm-hmm.
That's my homie. We were at these house parties, the Roots, Jill Scott, knowledge from Diggable Planets, Jeanne, Renee and Jean from Jeanne.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Temple together, Temple University. They were at these parties. Kwame was it was house music, but in '89, you found future superstars, household names today in this one party, and none of us had money or job. We were just all the artsy kids of Philadelphia. And Kwame loved Philadelphia, so he would come down and hang out. And so you had, and even Jazzy Jeff would flow through every now and then. I'm missing somebody.
Boys to Men. You met with them. Boys to Men.
Have I met with them?
Mm-hmm.
Again, these are friends, but those are my boys.
Those are your guys.
87, 88. I can famously tell you there was a day on South Street in Philadelphia. Anyone knows Philadelphia, they know South Street. Boys to Men were at 6th and South singing, and the Roots were at 5th and South playing, rapping. Amir was on the drums. Tariq it was a PV amp, small little amp. They're on the corner outside rapping with a hat in front, and Boys to Men are 1 block away singing a cappella with a hat in front of them. This is the same day in Philadelphia. That day, Sean needed a ride home for some reason. I don't know, he lived in West Philly. I had a little car at the time. That's how cool we, So yeah, I mean, the talent of Philadelphia from the 80s and 90s hung together or knew each other. Like there was no, I don't know him. Like if you were dope in Philadelphia as a young person in the 80s and 90s, everybody hung out together because you were such an anomaly. Philly is a certain kind of thing. I love my hometown, but you know what I'm saying? If you ain't talking about them Jones, you know what I'm talking about, you might not be. So if you're not on that, you get othered. And those were the cool kids. Those were the kids that became superstars, basically, and we went to the same parties and hung out in the same areas. And so, yeah, I mean, Philly is everything, as far as my creative endeavor, creative energy.
Mm-hmm. No, a lot of history. We have a book of knowledge here of Philadelphia hip hop who was right there. That really painted an impressive story here. And I look forward to really seeing this documentary with the concerts that eventually gets put together. And Yvette, is there anything else that you want to leave with the audience here today for all the up and coming people that are in college right now, getting into medicine, engineering, and even wanting to become a rocket scientist? Is there any important advice?
I just say stay steady, ask for help when you need it. Don't be prideful, because that's one of the things. These are fields that really drive competence, as like being competent from day one. You can't be. There's no way you can be. All of this requires time. Reach back to those who have been there before you. Respect those who were there before you. Ask for help. Find your own niche, carve it out. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something, because you can. It's just a matter of believing in yourself and your vision. There's no one way to do any of this. There's many roads that lead to the same common goal.
Amen.
That would be my advice. Mm-hmm.
Wonderfully said. I want to thank you two again. for coming on the show. Thank you to Yvonne for helping this set
Yes.
Yeah.
up as
Thanks,
well, getting
Yvonne.
this all
Yes.
arranged. Yeah, and let them know too where they can follow you on Instagram, all of the platforms that they could follow you on.
Go ahead, you first, Yvette.
Mine's shorter. I'll say mine first. Yvette Owens Facebook at Y Owens MD on Instagram and Producer Blue on TikTok.
Left or Right, the series on Instagram. You can find me at superstar_show on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you go follow Left or Right, especially on Amazon Prime. Make sure you go
Yeah.
stream, leave great reviews.
Yeah.
We got to get that
Yeah.
season
Leave us some
going.
reviews. Let us know what you think.
Yes, let us know
Yeah.
what you think.
Absolutely. Let us know, especially in the comments here. Leave the comments on Amazon Prime as well. And stay
Indeed.
tuned to this cartoon coming soon. And then Dominic mentioned that he has a movie that he's working on currently. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, next year, 2026. You thought 2025 was crazy, dude. There's going to be some themes introduced to planet Earth. Woo! I'm here to tell you. Listen, the AI is a heck of a companion. I land right there.
Well, I'll tell you this, in 2026, we'll love to have you back on to talk
Yes,
about
sir.
this new film and the cartoon that you got on the way.
Yes, yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you to you too. I really appreciate your time and everything you're doing out here. It means a lot.
Thank you,
Thank
Max.
you. And thank
Of,
you, DJ Mad Max. Appreciate you having us.
of course, anytime. Enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations on everything.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye bye.